Why hello everyone and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Shapez. Today is Sunday, November 3rd, 2024. Hello and welcome. What's been going on recently? I found Dolly's baby. It was missing. I mentioned this last time. Her like raccoon was missing. She's not here right now, but she could be there at some point today. I found it. It took a few days, but finally found it in the absolute last place it could have possibly been. Always the last place you look. Always the last place you look. I was under my mother's bed, and I needed like a grabber tool to get there physically to grab it. It's like, Mr. Cat. Mr. Cat is the one who uses both of them, who takes both of them and brings them to different locations. Dolly actually doesn't play with these toys anymore. She much prefers Caps as the toy that she plays with, very specific Caps as well. They're these little like bottle cap things that have hooks, protrusions on the inside of them, and she can bite on those and carry it with her wherever she wants to be. And they're small enough that they're easy to bat around. I think they're like a cap from some meal replacement box drink things. I forget exactly which one, but yeah, we only have a limited supply of those. It's just she loses them constantly. They get batted underneath things. Like I have to. One of these days, I'm gonna have to stick a stick under the oven to pull out the toys that have been batted around underneath the oven and under other pieces of furniture. I'm sure we'll find a lot of older toys when I do that. Anyway, yeah, so it's nice. Found the missing baby. Found the missing toy. And now they can live together again. In the process, I had also from the den pulled out a little bit older item, a pet bed, a hammock, circular hammock for the cats that had been in there because they weren't really using it. They didn't use it. It was a thing that my mother bought online from like Temu. And Ollie used it all of twice before never really using it again while it was in here. So I pulled it out and I put it up against some boxes. And it's in a like semi-shaded spot in shadow. And you know what? Mr. Cat has been using it for like actually sleeping in it. And I'm like, huh. Maybe it was just that it was in the wrong position the whole time. It needed to be a little bit more secluded. And now he's using it. Anyway, as for games I'm playing, actually yesterday all I really did was, actually like yesterday, the evening prior, this morning, etc. I downloaded a free game called Civ Idle. And I've been just having that up for the most part. It is, think, like the Civilization games, very very similar, but it's an idle game where you like build buildings. You can upgrade the buildings. You have to deal with like all the regular mechanics you can think of in Civilization games. It's very similar, but you know, very different as well in the experience. And you have like a hex map that you are the only civ on the map, and you're just expanding, making numbers go up. And of course, the more that you want to upgrade your stuff, the more stuff it takes, and the longer period of time it takes. It's like any other idle game. Very similar, in fact, I think, to Factory Town Idle, which I have also played to completion. That one, except this one, you don't have like simultaneous maps that you're playing on. It's one map at a time, and it's very, very, very focused on great people and restarting with its rebirth mechanic, because great people stay permanently in a pool, giving you all of their bonuses each time you restart, and each time you restart, you can get more copies of the great people, and every certain number that you get, you can level up the great person's bonuses to keep stacking those bonuses and making them larger each time you restart. So it's very, very, very focused on giving the player the ability to actually play the game for as long as they want, despite it being an idle game. If it gets to the point where it starts taking too long, restart. And it'll be faster each time you restart because of the great people you picked each time. There's also some like online trading mechanics and things, and an account level that's part of this system. If you do not purchase a supporter pack, you have to have the game run for 48 hours in total to level up and get access to all of the standard online content, which they call optional, but also other like account type upgrades as part of that. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm limiting my gameplay a bit to focus on unlocking that. Not all of the great people levels carry over. There's some stuff that will not carry over when I do the restart. So I have to make sure that I don't overdo how many times I restart, basically, and how many great people points I acquire, and how many levels I acquire of in certain ages of great people. Because, yeah, it gets lost when you do that level up. This is a way of fighting against bots. But, you know, I think that's not going to be very much of a deterrent, all things considered, because it is a free game. It's like, okay, so you just need the game to run for 2 days? Consecutively? Like, fine? Duh. Like, if you're running a bot network of multiple clients, hundreds of thousands of clients, potentially, I think you'll have the patience to wait 2 days and have it run for 2 days, but I don't know. I don't know what the thought process behind that is. I don't think it's that it actually does what they want it to do, but maybe it does. Who knows? All I know is that I've played that recently, and then I've put a bit of thought into Shapez 2. Little bit. I haven't like looked anything up or any of that. We're doing things from scratch here, without any outside assistance. With this wonderful thing. Last time we met was Halloween, and I did something special-ish for Halloween. In that I decided that instead of doing tasks while waiting on, having just like finished a milestone to unlock crystals, the crystal mechanic, I only really had like the one thing here to finish making. I finished that quickly and then just decided to start making a make anything machine. I guess technically make almost anything machine because it's not going to be able to handle crystals by default. So we're working on this, but I did end up actually finishing the milestones, so I had said last time that I would be spending today doing these milestones. That's fairly easy to make. That's really easy to make. As are you. Alright, these are very straightforward objects. That's also pretty straightforward. And then what is their intent on this one? I think they intend a crystal break on this one. Potentially. Or a swap. I think this is swapping. The hard part is having a empty space under a crystal like this. That's the difficult part. You swap these two, and you make both of these. It doesn't give you the gap, though. If you swap these two, you get the gaps. Of course, it like is a little bit different. No, that layer 1 is this layer 1. See here, this layer 1 is this half of this layer 1, and this half is this half. So there's some intent here that you're taking these shapes to make these. I'm just not so sure here what this intent is. It's not you. I'm gonna look at this bottom one first. That layer 2 is just the 2 semicircles. If I had this swapping with you, I do end up with those semicircles like that. So then the difference is the layer 3s and 4s. So that layer 3 is, again, just the swap of these. So it's a matter of how to layer 4 from here. And I think it's half and half. How to layer 4. Borders? So the issue is I can't use like a full white, right? I would have to have a mix of the white and the gear. I would need one with the half gear, and they would each need a half gear, half white in opposite arrangements. But it can't break. And I don't even want to think about this one. I think this one is based off of these two. I don't know. I don't know. It's Trixie. That layer 2 and 3. Yeah, that's like swapping of these. The layer 1 here is also similar to this. Just a different rotation of how it's swapped. The issue is getting those empties. How the heck do I get those empties? That's the really tricky part. Anyway, we'll have to figure this one out. Yeah, although, at the beginning, in the beginning, we shall just, plan out the first steps, because it's 10k each, and in between time, I may be working on this MAM, while waiting on stuff to accrue. Right, Vortex is here. I need access to all of the colors, a lot of all of the colors, actually. And only circles and squares and gears, no stars for any of it. So circles, squares, gears, slash, diamonds. Diamonds, yes, diamonds. 30 research points for what? I need 50, I need 100 research points, not that. Operator level, hello. Alright, circle, square, diamond, colors, not as many reds around the place, but oh well. Paint. Fluid. Space pipe. Where's that one with all the train stations in? Yeah, you. I'm likely gonna need 2 of these. Why? Why are these so small? And I need to make sure all the things are equal between these 2. Alright. Red. Red. Green will be this guy. There we go. That, as they say, is that. That gives me a few. Of the colors. In fact, it gives me a total. Oh. I have to re-add this. To everything. Yeah. There's the magenta. Now to do the yellow and the cyan. No. Why can't I just drag across and have it place 4 of those? I don't know. Ugh. I have to like use the actual tool for it to correctly drag. There we go. I should save that. Full fluid mixing station 3 layers trains. Really? Really? Okay then. Nope, not close enough. That does it. At least it should do it. There we go. Excellent. What that means is I now have access to up to 24 of all of the mixed colors. "24 belts worth, which is 12 belts of crystallization. Since it's unfortunately 2-to-1 for doing crystals. Fluid unloading. Got 4, but I'm not gonna have them come in that way. Also, I do want them separated, I think. And then moving in with these, although that doesn't change anything. Nah, just leave it. I wish there was an easy way to change those to another line. That would be quite useful if we change the line on those. The reason I don't like this as much is because I can't do this, actually. Due to the limited throughput of the output of the catchers. These things could launch all of it, except the catchers can't catch fast enough. I would need a mirrored version on the other side. All because the catchers can't catch fast enough. And I'm probably gonna shift this over at least one, if not two. Anyway, stuff things. I need what for this? Cyan, magenta, and yellow. Okay. Bring me my circles. Bring me my gears. Alright, let me do this swap. So this is going to make those. I'm going to rotate them all to be the same. Oh, whoops. All to be the same rotation. Actually, no, they need to alternate. But it'll be easier dealing with this, because that's a belt and that's a belt. Thinking about this wrong again. There we go. 50 research points. Hey, go faster, thanks. Let's make this all consistent rotation. Oops. Then painting, wonderful painting. Needs to paint into cyan. Okay. Step 1. Step 2 is magenta circles for magenta circles. Hey, magenta. Why did I completely block? There. There we go. That will do. That'll give me those. I will then need to cut halves. To have 2 halves of circles. Do I want to just do that? I guess. Cut. So I don't want you to go that way. There we go. Ta-da. Not really the rotation I want it to be, though, so let me do some adjusting. Go. I looked at the top one when I'm making the bottom one. Yes, we are shaping the shapes. We are shaping the shapes incorrectly, as it turns out. As per usual. That gives me them on the top. Now it's a matter of stack and crystallize. Yep, just stack and crystallize. So what do I need to do? Stacking. Where's my newer stacking? 5 layers, 1 belt. Yes, you. This is actually a very, very convenient build. But I don't need all of this. I need only this part of it. Autosave is automatically saving. I'm going to do it down here, even though I don't really want to, or I could do it over here, but I'll do it here. Come on, there we go. So in this particular scenario, the insane scenario, you may only ever use the bent stackers. But that's not an issue for me at all because I've been using the bent stackers the entire time. And the reason I've been using the bent stackers the entire time is because they are, in fact, faster. than the standard stackers. You only need 4 of them per belt instead of 6. So I built setups for stacking using the bent stackers the entire time. I was using this. I've used this layout forever, pretty much. But I very recently modified it into this kind of an arrangement. Stacker 5-layer. This is specifically for the Insane scenario as well, because Insane has 5-layer shapes rather than 4-layer shapes. And since you're dealing with 5-layer shapes, well, you gotta be able to stack up to 5 layers, right? So this stacks 5 inputs into 1 output. And you can have 4 of these all together, nice and neatly compact. It doesn't use layer 3. That I consider that a good thing that it doesn't use layer 3. Not really a bad one, but it could be a little bit more compact, maybe, if I did use the layer 3 rather than just the 2 layers. This means I can use this at any point in the game because it's only the 2 layers. I don't need to unlock the 3rd floor. If I were to build this in 3, I would still need you, but you would be layer above. Yeah, I'm not sure how this actually changes things. Oh, it would change things here, because then it's a direct insert. Yeah, that's where it would change. And the 3rd layer would come in that way. And that would be the 3-layer version of this for the first 3 steps, and the 4th stack would be... I could either keep it there or do that offset, but I think that's still smoother. I don't like how this looks, even though it is like 1 tile thinner. It's 1 tile thinner and uses the 3rd floor. Sure. Whatever. I'm just gonna use what I already had. So, point is, we're gonna run the layer 1. What am I doing? It's this, and that. This is actually the layer 2. I need to move that in a bit. That's layer 3. All I need to do now is crystallize yellow. Which actually... I think I want to make a better crystallizer setup than this. I think that while this works for a crystallizer setup, I want something that's not as long. The issue is you do need 6 per belt. Let me go over here. How do I build the MAM? We'll get to that. This is actually 3 layers, if you can believe it. Why do you not have the same behavior? Sigh. Ugh. Yeah. This will be a lot wider. Ew. Yeah, ew. Ah! I have also forgotten a very key detail. It's 2x on the color per belt. It's like 2 belts equivalent. Yeah, this is fine. I'll say that this will work. And that I can have 2 like this. Oh yeah, output. I have forgotten. I usually go forwards with you. Yeah, there we go. So that'll copy. That's a new crystal layout. Versus this. So yeah, it's wider, but it's nowhere near as long. And frankly, it may be using fewer tiles. 16 by 19 by 2. As in 2 layers, right? That's the total volume that it is located within. Whereas this one, I guess I'll just look at 16 by 19 versus the 11 by 20. Yeah. So this, the footprint of this thing at 16 by 19 is 304 tiles versus this one at 11 by 20, that's 220 tiles of a footprint. So yeah, the difference is actually just exceedingly obvious. Now, yellow. I need 2 of these. The only unfortunate part of this is that it is 3 layers tall. And that makes the exact intended milestone shape. So I will put down a train loading here. Get these brought out. Okay, so there was the question about how the MAM functions. I'm still sort of working that out myself. Right now, what I have for the MAM, where's Vortex? Oh, Vortex is up. Whoops. Well, it's over and then up. I have to... Okay, I can hook up straight with that line. Okay, the MAM I am working on building... Where again? How far away was it? Here. Okay, the basics that I've done so far with this is working through the logic. The way that I am building it is, this is all of the logic that'll be making one layer, and this will be repeated 5 times for each layer of an object. Basically, I'm going to have an input that's going to be something along these lines, where I'm taking the producer, the signal producer, to produce whatever signal I need at the time, which is going to be whatever, like, task. I at first want it to do the tasks before doing any of the, like, repeated milestone shapes. So I'm taking that object and I'm splitting it with the unstacker, simulated unstacker, into layers, because this unstacker will output the individual layers, unfortunately in reverse order from top to bottom. I'm sending those on global transmitters for each layer, so it's like channel 1, channel 2, 3, 4, and 5. This will be layer 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, potentially. Depends on the object. In this case, it's layer 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then a null. But what I'm doing over here is I'm taking in the signal of the topmost layer. In this case, it's the signal of the topmost layer. And I am taking that signal, I'm sending it into a shape analyzer, which outputs the shape type and color of the northeast first layer quarter. Of the northeast first layer quarter. So of the layer that comes in which I have this little display showing the actual output from the transmitter, the receiver here, that's the layer that we are going to make from here. This sends out the identity of northeast. So that's this top left corner is the northeast corner. So it sends out this northeast corner. I then rotate it. I rotate the object, and that gives me the next corner. I rotate it, the next corner, and I rotate it again to get the final corner. I'm working from scratch as well, and that was last stream. So if you want to see me working from scratch, last stream is where it's at. So I take all those signals, which this little shape analyzer, the top section, the top output is the shape, and the side output is the color. So you get a shape and a color output from this shape analyzer entity. So we're going to take this shape. We're going to take that, and we're going to send it all down these lines. And we're going to do that 4 times. These inputs are going to be bulb outs of quarters of each shape. So all like quarter circles, quarter squares, quarter stars, and quarter diamonds are going to be what's input into this system. And I'm going to check with a belt filter. The belt filter, by having this wire directly in, it's going to check if that corner is exactly equal to what the shape input is. And it will only allow through if it is correct, if it matches. If it doesn't match, it's going to dump it, and that's going to keep the whole system moving. And it's going to do that for everything. For all 4 corners, with each corner being a line of belt of input. So, theoretically, what gets passed through all of this is only ever going to be 1 belt of stuff. Theoretically, it will only ever be 1 belt of stuff, and I've already just thought of a way in which this can be simplified. I have just now thought of a very important thing here that I've noticed that this is a little unnecessary. This is overbuilt. I say that because whatever passes through the first belt, only 1 of these shapes will be passed through the first belt, and only 1 of these shapes will be passed through the second belt, and only 1 will pass through the third, and only 1 will pass through the fourth. So I had already reminded myself of this down here. In the end, I can do all this up here before these checks. Now, what are these checks? This is checking whether or not that corner piece is a colored piece. So we are checking with this comparison equality what the color is. Or we're not checking exactly what the color is, we're checking whether or not it has a color. So with this little producer here, I'm producing the uncolored color. And if this transmitter is exactly equal, if this input is equal to uncolored, then this is true. Actually, it's if it's not equal, excuse me. If it's not equal to uncolored, then it would be true. If it's equal, then it's blah. Logic. So right now, it is taking in an uncolored signal. The signal that's being output of this is uncolored, and I'm checking not equal. Well, they are equal, so it's false. It's false because they are equal. So all of that will send the uncolored stuff down a spur rejection line. This rejection line will bypass my painting array. So this line will only happen if it's uncolored. Whereas this line will happen if it's colored. I don't care what color it is at this point. I just care, do I need to paint or not? So this line is for I need to paint. This line is I don't need to paint. And I only need to do this once per line total. I don't need to have all of this repetition here. Though I still need to run these lines into all of this mess. All of this mess is just the colors. Each one is a separate color for all 7 of the colors. Yeah, not joking, it's all 7 of the colors in here. It's, yeah. What we have here are gates coming out from each of these 7, and when there is a color for a quadrant, when there's a color for a quadrant, that color signal will get passed, and this gate will only allow through the specific color of the quadrant. If it has color. My intent then is, well, it's the same thing here. I can combine, which I think I have combined. Yeah, I have combined all of the pipes for each quadrant. So all of the pipes for the first quadrant, second, third, and fourth get combined because only one color will happen at a time. And I will now have to bring these 4 separate pipes down to a painting line, and it will paint the output from here. And then the unpainted ones will bypass that. And from there, it's a matter of just stacking. So I'm effectively done with a machine that is capable of building any shape that doesn't have pins or crystals. Because it would be just a matter of taking this thing and pasting it 4 more times for each layer, right? And then taking all of that output and then stacking it correctly in the end. What will complicate matters within here of what I still have to do is that I need to check for empty quadrants, A, in order to determine exactly how many stacking steps I need to form the layer's shape. It needs to be up to 4. If it's nil, it won't really matter. If it's nothing, I don't need to have logic for if it's nothing, because it's only going to be moving if there's something. I need to check if it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. And if it's just 1 quadrant, it doesn't need to stack. It can bypass the stacking. If it needs 2, 3, or 4, I need to actually know if it is 2 or 3 or 4, because I need it to always move, you know? I need it to consistently run. So, I'm trying to think, are there ways to do this without, like, real logic? And I believe that there is, because you can set up overflow setups. You can do an overflow gate. And I should have a blueprint for an overflow. I just don't remember what I named it. If I have saved it. Odd. Anyway, either way, there is a way to have like a priority splitter. Which I guess is what I could use for this. Or like an overflow splitter. Which I could do that, since it would pass through and pass on if a thing gets backed up. The problem with that type of an arrangement is that each time the shape changes, it will have a bit of unintended output for a bit. But that might just be acceptable as it cleans the pipe. Is this only for the star? So what's being built here will be capable of producing any shape. Any shape of shapes. I don't have logic for pins, and I don't have logic for crystals. It can make stars of any color, it can make any mixed shape of any color, it could build this thing. It could build any individual layer of this thing. So what I'm building is going to be capable of doing like just this top layer too. Or as well. It could do any of these 3 layers. And I'm going to have multiple copies of this logic for each layer, and at the end it will assemble through stacking the outputs of each of these machines into the final piece. And that will be able to make any standard shape that doesn't need pins or crystals. And I'm trying to think about also adding pin support to this, which I think is actually pretty simple if, and only if, I supply bare pins into the system, which is easy enough. If I supply the bare pins, then it's a matter of just an equality check if I have a pin in a quadrant. It's a quadrant check, unfortunately. It is a quadrant check, so it's like adding a 5th setup in here from these 4, a 5th line, which, yeah, might mean I have to move this a little bit and have insert a thing for the pins check. And I'd be checking for a single pin. So I'd have to, like, provide single pins. But that would be a way to do it, and the weirdness with pins is that they do fall through gaps. But I'm gonna have correct stacking order anyway, from bottom to top. So it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. Honestly, the pins are the easy thing to add to the MAM. It's the crystals that get much more complicated, especially when trying to think about some of the more advanced crystal mechanics that actually will never show up in the random operator level things. So this set of random shapes, it will never require you to break a crystal. That's one of the rules, is it will never require you to break a crystal. Where's my... Did I not keep it at all? What? I didn't keep it. That's sad. Oh well. I had a thing where I, like, copied from the wiki what the rules are. But basically, it will never have a requirement for you to break crystals. Anyway, that's enough talking about the MAM. I do need to build these milestones, though, and my focus is primarily going to be on building these milestones until they're done, even if that means I don't really get to the MAM work today. Okay, so we made this bottom one. Let's do this top one, which is pretty similar. Yeah, shape goal complete. I need square, actually. Gosh, all these operator levels just coming in so quick. Second verse, same as the first, actually. Yeah, and this needs to be the opposite rotation so that it's on the bottom. Excuse me. Oh, and these colors need to be swapped. Oh, these are different. These are a little bit different. Yeah. Delete. What I do know is that the purple does need to be on layer 1. So I have to do this twice. Something's a little bit off, but whatever. Let me think. Thinking. other side? Where's this? Huh? Okay. It's not the same thing here. I need the input there. Ugh. Yeah, no. Oh, boogers. Okay. Now the problem is a matter of rotation. Wonderful. Okay. So yeah, you actually need to return back to what you were, which was the tops. I cleared everything, so it's going to take a sec to give me the previews again. And that's the thing. Ta-da! Yep, that'll do. So the weirdness here is that this next task is kind of just separate from this entirely. It's a little odd. So this thing, like, I can make this thing in place, like, just as is. I don't need to swap to make this. As in, I don't need to swap crystals to make this. Now, if I had these two shapes and swap them, I would end up with like that layer 3 and 2. Just with the other stuff in it. It's like, it's weird. I'm still figuring out the logic of this one. Unfortunately, I have to take a break. I need to go up to the bathroom for a few minutes. It's a little early, but yeah, I need a break. Need the break. Distracting me too much. We're gonna increase our volume a little bit and take a break. I'll be right back in a few minutes, like 5 to 10. I have returned. Welcome back. No longer under pressure. Yeah, I can think now about the game a little bit more clearly. Okay. This. I am gonna do opposite corner of the diamonds and of squares. And I don't think I'm gonna do it in here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna change the position. That sounds like a plan. Let's get these guys. And let's get another thing of squares. Oh, hello. I have been joined by Ollie Cat. Hello, Ollie. Are you happy? Are you happy? Awake now? He was taking a nap in the hammock. He was in the hammock when I stepped out. He was in the hammock. He was nice and comfy in that little circular hammock. Yeah. He was comfy. Yes, comfy kitty. Okay, the sad part of this is but actually no, there's nothing sad. Yeah, I'm only using one of each of these. So I actually have just enough purple. I have just enough magenta for this. And just enough cyan. The issue is going to be the other one will need more magenta and cyan, and that is the limiting factor. Hello, cat. Hello, kitty. Big boy, up on my chair. Yeah, that will be a quite limiting factor. I think I have just enough. I have just enough. The issue is going to be how am I going to route the stuff here, because it would probably be best if it's all one line. So I'll do that. What are you doing back there? What are you doing, Ollie Cat? Where you going? Where you going? Mr. Kitty? Yeah? Picked up baby? What you doing, big cat? Big boy. Huh? No. No, don't go. That's my lap. You don't have, there's not enough room. There's not enough room in the lap. Ugh! Mr. Heavy. Heavies. These heavies. Okay, opposite corners. Swapping opposite corners. Is this the correct? Yeah. Oh, I need circles. Ooh. Yeah, that's more cyan. Yikes. Okay. Huh. I'm gonna rotate these to be opposite of what it was. Oh hey, it was the normal break time now. So the issue is that you see how I'm using this. I need 3 types of cyan to make this, while the next... Oh, that'll also be 3 magentas. Yeah, I am a color short, but I can stop this to free up that cyan. Operator level, go! We're close to the number. Alright, painting. What am I doing? What am I thinking? Yeah. Duh. I need that much. This just looks so dumb. This looks so stupid. And it's unfortunate that it is 4 and not 3. Because if it was 3, I could have, 3 layers. I could have all 3 layers, and it would be actually useful. I could have it be so much more compact if this was able to be 3 layers, but no. Nope. Not allowed. Also, goodbye. These He's burrowing under the thingy over there. I don't really consider this as much of an improvement over what I had. Oh yeah, where's the color entering? Duh-huh. I guess there. Alright, do the research points really matter anymore? Nah? Just take what I get when I get it? Okay, this has an order of operations. So my stacker... And actually, you know, it doesn't matter what is where. Huh. Sigh. Autosave. Just route all this stuff. And that is what I intended. So now I'm going to crystallize magenta, or crystallize cyan. So it's crystallized, then stack, and then crystallize again. Crystallize, stack, crystallize again. Crystallize as cyan. There. 3. Okay, now the question is, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? How am I going to get this magenta across? I guess just like this. Okay. Good. Stacking. There we go. Okay. Bring that across. That's the key thing with the crystals and stacking, is that you can absolutely stack stuff on top of crystals, but you cannot stack crystals on top of anything else. It cannot be dropped at any point. That's the key. They're fine as long as they're not dropped. So, question. Why the fuck did I do that in that order? So, I've mixed up the top and bottom of what's being shown here. Oops. Another operator level. We're close to the number. Okay, now if I look at this... Yeah, that looks like that bottom one now, doesn't it? That looks correct. That is correct. Second verse, same as the first. Yeah. As it turns out, I'm gonna just break that for now. This time it is switching these colors around. So I do need to have it as I had it, and this needs to be magenta. So that mildly annoys me. Okay. I just need to provide this with the correct inputs. So what do I need here? This needs to be squares. Or actually, no, this needs to be circles. Oh. Fun! The number! Nice. Okay, so that still needs to be diamonds. But these need to be circles. Aww, it's gone away so quickly. Now, have I made errors? Yes. Excuse me. Okay, squares, uncolored semis. That's it. Now let me clear any unintendeds, particularly in there. So yeah, that's the other part of this. Thematically, through the entirety of this scenario, there's been a lot of situations like this where it's effectively the exact same factory with slightly different routing of the inputs, maybe a switching of a color here and there to slightly rerouting the inputs, but it's the same goddamn factory. It's the same factory, just different inputs. Like, come on. Okay. That's gonna be that. I guess the only concern is there's some stuff about throughput, I guess, to think about. Oh, hey, there's 40 points. And it's gonna keep complaining about me, so grab everything. Alright. While waiting for that 18,000 each. I may want to experiment to figure out those last shapes, but I also want to get back to the MAM, of course. Do I experiment a little bit? Yeah, I want to, like, first off, I want to see what the result would be of swapping this with that. Rotating. blue. I'm really not exactly seeing. How we get to here from here. We swap these two. That breaks the yellow, and that gives me the gaps. I see. But this has uncolored semicircles, which I would think the uncolored semicircles are here. Is it these two that swap? And these two that swap? Or do I have to change this to be semicircles? Those are uncolored semicircles. So if I swap and break these, if I swap and break the yellow, I'm just thinking, well, how in the hell do I get layer 3 then? Because layer 3 is like these two swapping. I swap these two, and then I swap these. But I need a layer 4. Slash a layer 5 for you. There's edits that I'm going to have to make that are going to fundamentally change how I have built some of these, I think, but I'm not going to really think about that right now, actually. I'll think about it when I need to make it. But my thought process so far is I have to swap these to break the yellows, and I have to swap into these. The question that I have though is, where am I adding the white? And how am I getting the top? A 5th layer for you, and the 4th layer for you. Because these are 3 layers. This is 3, and this is 3. And sure, I can figure out how to get the first 3 layers. But how am I getting layer 4? What am I adding for layer 4? And what am I adding here for layer 4 and 5? And how do I end up with a result that gives me both of these as an output without junk as output for the final swapping? Probably doesn't work that way, huh? Well, I'll think about that later. Probably next stream, because it's probably going to take all stream to figure all that out, but we'll see. Anyway, where's that MAM? Where's that MAM logic? Here. The Make Anything machine. Let's make... Let's do the combining. None of that will be required. It would be in my best interest if that was the output of 1. And this, the output of 2. Three, 4. Okay, so by doing that, I no longer need this logic here. And I no longer need that as logic there. Duh. That's easy. This still needs to go all the way up and do all that. Okay. That helps a smidge. That's a slight issue, though. It's a big issue, though. Alright, bring these across. Okay, that fulfills that part. The next key is ensuring stacking. I've made an Etsy sale of a few items. Black, 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 okay, all black. Did they use coupon? Doesn't look like. It was just the normal. Oh, repeat customer. I see. Good. Me likey. Me likey seeing repeats. Folks coming back to my Etsy shop, buying more stuff. Always nice. Buying my 3D prints. These displays behind me of stuff. The stuff. The stands. The stands. I offer for sale on Etsy and eBay. In case you were not aware, at this point, I sell 3D printed stands, displays, storage, solutions for video games. Mostly retro video games, but also regular, like DVD thickness cases, Switch cases, Vita cases, etc. Okay, stacking. Stacking logic. I now care whether or not these are empty. I have to bring that out. Yay. I don't want to bring it out here or here. Probably here. It's all reconnecting down here. Ta-da! Okay. Bring that out. So now that it's gone through all that logic, I don't really care what it is at all. I don't care if it's colored or uncolored. All I need to care about is stacking logic. All right. Stacking. I have a few logical checks to make. For each level of the stacking. So, as it stands, this does not function 100% of the time. In fact, I need to add additional separation because I need an escape here. I need an escape here. I need an escape here. And there. So this is if 1 piece, if 2, if 3, if 4. But is that how I actually want to do it? No. This may need more advanced circuit logic. So what do I need? I guess I need to check, is it empty? But I don't think there's an easy way to do that. detects and displays the speed and contents. There has to be... How can I check if a signal exists? I guess that would be just a gate. So this should gate. It should give an output only if it has a signal from 2 active signals. Yeah? It just cares if it's a signal. Yes. So the AND should be active if both are active. The OR should be active if either is active. The NOT inverts active to inactive, or inactive to active. Exclusive OR is a little active if exactly one is on. So one and not the other. So this is an OR gate, and this is the exclusive OR. If it's both on, it's off. And this one, if the OR is in there, if they're both on, it's on. Okay. So now I can have some more control over this. Okay. How much of this logic am I going to need? Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm gonna work on this for the rest of the stream, I think. As Mr. Cat is snoring behind me. Okay. I need this set of logic brought all the way down to here. Or signals. Basically the output signals here. Oh boy. Yeah. So I can't T off of this. Okay. As I said, I would learn the gates when I had a practical use for them. Now I have a bit of a practical use for them. Okay, so I have to actually do this comparison for all four. Ugh. Or do this logic gate check setup for all of these. So for the first one, what I need Alright, let's do this a little oddly. So I'm going to check if 1 and 2, if 1 and 2 are active, I need an AND gate. Checking if 1 and 2 are active, and I need an AND gate checking if 3 and 4 are active. Okay. And that'll give me a active signal. Now, my hope is that this will pass through if true and stop if false. Okay. So if true, I want that and that to happen for those, and if true, I want that and that to happen for those. Okay? That'll be the part 1 of many. But that's not the only permutation, now is it? There are other permutations. In fact, I have to keep checking all possible combinations. I have to check 1 and 3, and 1 and 4, and 2 and 3, and 2 and 4 as well. Can I do it more easily, though, is a wonderful question I don't really have a good answer to. And this has to be more this way. Because the other part of this is I can combine the outputs. Technically. So this tells me if all 4 are active. This tells me if all 4 are active. Yeah. But do I care if all 4 are active? Like this. Does that matter to me, having that as an explicit signal? Because it matters which is active. Okay, that's the whole issue here, is that it actually does matter which is active. Which specific quadrants are active. Because that changes where I have to route the inputs into these stacking setups. So dang. Oh, I did that. what sort of checks will I be doing here? Oh, and I guess I've done this backwards. Because if one is off, that doesn't matter, actually. It needs to not do anything. If the first one isn't active at all, that changes the logic for the other three, not the first one. I care if 2 is on or off, 3 is on or off, or 4 is on or off, if 1 is on. Is 1, is 2 on, is 3 on, is 4 on. Is 2, is 3, is 4. Is 2, is 3, is 4. And 1, and 1, and 1. Hello, welcome to the stream. I am doing okay, I'm just now trying to figure some logic to use for the combining of the layers, or the stacking of the to create the layer. I'm just trying to think of the proper logic to use, and now I'm going to arrange that. So right now what I have is an AND gate checking for 1 and 2, and an AND gate checking for 3 and 4 over here. But my thought is I'm going to have to check for 1 and 2, 1 and 3, and 1 and 4. And similarly, I'm going to have to check for 2 and 1, 2 and 3, 2 and 4, etc. I'm just trying to think about, is there a simpler way? Or is this just going to be how I end up doing it? And then how do I arrange it so that I have all of my signals actually functioning properly? The way that I intend them. So if this is 1, and this is 4, and this is 3, and this is 2, what arrangement of AND gates can I use here? then how can I combine the outputs? Do I care so much about the outputs? I don't know about combinators. This is basically, these are straight up logic gates. That's the 1 checks. Two needs to check if 3 and 4. Oops. So that's 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 2 and 3, 2 and 4, 3 and 4. Is that all of the permutations? Six combinations? One, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, 4. Yeah. That's all the unique combinations. So how do I then have these signals go into all of this? That's the next part of this. So I need 3 checks for 1. Whoops. What am I thinking? That's 1 and 2. And that's 1 and 2. If 1 and 2 are active, then yes, they should go and stack as 1 and 2. So if active, 1 and 2 stack. Now I have to figure out like better positioning as we go. Now, number next. I'm pretty sure that the way that I'm going to be having this set up is the most inefficient way possible. Alright, so there's 3 combinations for 1. Or there's 6 total combos here. That's the first set of stacking. But I can actually separate a little bit because these guys are kind of independent from these. But do I want to do like the extra logic of checking is of say if any of these are true and any of these are true, do I like want to have that as another check? Because there is, that's getting into optimization, and I don't think I care about the optimization part of it. I need one more check, though. No, I don't. I don't think I do. Because of these 6, only 1 will ever be active, is the goal here. Right. That's what I want to check. That's what I want. That's what I want to check. Yes, that's it. Right. That's right there. That thing that I want to have checked. Yeah. I'm gonna do undo this. And keep that there. Yeah. That's the one. So this is checking 1 and 2 and going into 1 and 2. This is going to be so messy, so very messy. Now this is checking 1 and... oh. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter now, does it? Because this is going to be passing through a true. And not going out the other way. So basically, if the 1 and 2 are active is true, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if the other ones are true or not. this is 1 and 3. So if that is true, and if only that is true, which it can only be true, which there will only be output if this is false. Okay? Which means that I can actually route this across. To there. Actually, no, what am I thinking? This routes... not you. Not you. You. Get rid of that. All these operator levels, my goodness. That goes into there. And that'll go into there. So what passes here? I don't think anything ever passes there, actually. Do I even need this check on 1? I mean, yes, because that means that it's by itself, and it needs to just pass on to the end. Because what this means here is, if 1 is existent, okay, if there is just this quadrant, it needs to be able to pass completely through the system without going through any of the stackers. So this output, this X here output, this is the bypass for when none of the others have anything. And it's just the 1 quad piece in that position. So that means that all of the other 3 also will need to check to see if all 3 of the others are inactive. Because if there's nothing that comes in here, I mean, we don't care, right? We don't care what happens here if there's no input on here. Though there will be logic on 2, 3, and 4 instead. Which, yeah, I am very much running out of space for all of this. So I need to, like, reroute. Elsewhere for these things. Because now I need to check Oh, is it gonna be easier if it's like this? Not really. Maybe? Yeah, because of how it splits. Yeah. Because of how it splits, it doesn't necessarily work. But that would. That arrangement would. So this is 2 and 3, 2 and 4. Crap. Okay. And I guess you... Oh. It's wrong. Yeah, that's that one. Okay. So that's layer... That's 4, and that's 3. Might want to just bring that all the way across. You only care about one thing. extra. No. We do care about other things. That's 1 and 4. I need 2 and 4 and 3 and 4. Duh. Which this is 2 and 4. And that's 3 and 4. Okay. Belts. So that's 2 and 3, 2 and 4. Two and 3. 2 and 4. 3 and 4. The problem with this... No, I don't think it's a problem. I was just thinking, oh, it might do a stack of 2 and 3 and 2 and 4, but no, it won't. Because I'm checking in sequence whether or not it's true. It filters in sequence. Now, I'm assuming that these filters work as I'm interpreting them, so that they will allow it if the signal is true. That's what I'm hoping it does. Because I'm hoping that if I put a display on any of these... Oh, right, that was an input. Yeah, I'm hoping if I put a display on these that it gives me a 1 or a 0. And that I'm putting in a 1 or a 0 onto these belt filters. And that they will activate if 1 and deactivate if 2. Oh, what have I done? I caught that mistake. Because this is bypassing. All of these are bypasses. What will happen, though, would be if 1 and 2 is true, and if 3 and 4 is true, it will do both of those steps at the same time, and I have to account for that in the logic. And I'm actually going to leave a note here in with a label. I'm going to say that 1 plus, excuse me, why can't I, what? Why you no number in this? Huh? Why no number in this? Why you no let me number in this? So that's more note to self. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 stacks. So that's this one and this one will happen at the same time. So I would need an additional check to force it to only do one, if that's what I wanted. But that's just part 1 of this logic, because that's just the first stack. I then have to check if these things have something. And these things have something. At least with these 3, only one of these 3 will ever happen at the same time. With these 2... would these happen? Would 2 and 3 happen simultaneously? Actually, it wouldn't be 3 and 4. It would be 1 and 2. Actually, no, 2 wouldn't. 2 wouldn't, because 2 would go to 1. It's only the 3, 4. So these would not be simultaneous. Yeah, these would not be simultaneous. Anyway, we've reached the end of the stream, by the way. It is that time to end things off. That's what happens when working on MAM. This is ending up much, much more complex than I was originally intending. But, oh well. Oh well. I think I'll be able to use these outputs, the outputs of these gates, with additional gates to determine the remaining stacking setups. I think I'll be able to do that. Taking each of these 6 outputs and doing comparisons between them. Since I know that only these 2 will operate at the same time, I can say if these 2 are true, I can do an AND gate for this signal and send it to another stacker to stack them. And I can check any other combos as well that may... because I may need to stack a bypass onto a stacked part. Yeah? So I'll need to check if any of the bypasses exist, and if any of the stack stuff exists, in which case then it's still just one more stack step, actually. I think this actually covers it. It's just this, and the output should be whatever I need for this layer. So it's either going to stack the 2 stacks, or bypass just the one thing that it needs, or stack the mix of the stacked item and the bypassed item. Those are the only results that end up out of this. You either get 2 pre-stacked things, or a stacked thing and one of the bypasses, or you're just going to get 1 bypass. So I just need to check for that and go from there. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Talk Shapez. If you've enjoyed the stream, do all the social stuff down below. I'll be back with more on Tuesday, Election Day in the United States, where I will, again, step back. I will work on maybe one of those 2 remaining milestones and then get back into the MAM stuff. I will, of course, see you all then.